Hello everyone, it's 1-2 Rogue Warrior here. This video I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the news with Iran and all this stuff. Bunch of political BS. Normally I would do this on the Serve News channel, but I think I need to get into the political aspect of it and go with personal thoughts. Iran is one of those places that they're so ass backwards and they're freaking funny. I mean, I'm reading this in the Huffington Post last couple days, and I said, well, you know what? If there is a war with Iran, I have certain skills that the military would need, being an aircraft, I have background in aircraft maintenance. So I'm kind of not worried. I'm kind of at the point that the mindset is, if I get called to go, I will go. And I did make that judgment, that decision lightly. I mean, it would suck, but you have to suck it up and go. The problem is, a lot of people don't realize the Middle East is very secular in nature in all the countries. Israel's the only truly democratic country in the Middle East. I know a lot of people hate Israel. They find Israel a disgrace. They're saying there are human rights violations with Palestine and Gaza are problems, and I don't see that. I mean, they're honestly, Israel's under constant attack. Sorry, I have a cat right here beside me, and she probably wants treats. So it's basically, he's getting frisky. But yeah, it's getting to that point where I don't really know what to say or do. Does that matter? So, but generally speaking, Israel, whatever the action they take in Gaza or Palestine, it's justified. People say, oh, it's like concentration camps, blah blah blah, or whatever. They're violating people's human rights, shit like that. I don't. You know what? If you're if you're a small nation like Israel is, you have nations like Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Arab nations. I mean, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and all this. They're less likely to attack. But Israel's also surrounded by Egypt and a couple other countries. And in Israel's short history, they've been attacked multiple times by some of these countries. 67 was one, the 6-Day War, Yom Kippur, all these attack wars took place. Every time Israel took action, saved their country. A couple times possibly even had nuclear weapons loaded up onto strike aircraft going to stop the attack. Thankfully, it was never needed, but they were never used. So I mean, I don't really know what to truly think, but as my personal opinion, but Israel's a country that's defending themselves. I go for the underdog. Israel's always been the underdog. In the UN, they are the underdog. They're constantly being attacked in the UN meetings for what they do by their enemies. Libya, everybody's against Israel in the United Nations, pretty much except a few countries that are members. Canada being one. They support Israel. We support Israel now. The liberals don't. Israel Israel is one of these guys you don't fuck with. They poke at a mama bear with their cubs nearby. Poking a cub when a mama bear is nearby. Not smart. Mama bear will come at you pretty rigidly and very forcefully. So you better know how to run faster than a grizzly or a bear if you poke a mama's cubs, because you're screwed. I mean, Israel gets attacked quite often, but you know what? Israel can handle themselves. They know how to do it. They only take so much before they go, okay, we had enough of this shit. We're going. We're gonna take these guys out. I mean, we can't condone Israel for doing that. I mean, people want, oh, war's evil, war's this, they're violating people's human rights. That's bullshit. Their human rights are being violated when they get attacked. When you have rockets or artillery being shot at them. They're protecting their citizens. I mean, let's say if, for example, Canada gets attacked, I'm going to use off the wall, for example here, hypothetical. Let's say China attacks Canada. You never know, it could happen. Or if the U.S. attacks Canada, like it did in 1812. What would you think we should do? We shouldn't sit back and let the U.S. take us over? No. We'll fight. We may be 10%, have 10% of the population of the U.S., but we can still give the U.S. a very bad, bloody nose. I'm probably going to beat their sorry asses. Most of the regular force is a bunch of poorly trained wimps. Under Obama. So, I mean, it kind of makes me sick sometimes to see some of the stuff I see posted overall. But I don't really know what's going on in a lot of the cases, that a lot of issues that happen in the world today, it's all about, truly, it's about discrimination. A lot of it's discrimination. Occupy, they're discriminating against people that work for their money. But in that case, I agree with some of what Occupy says, but Occupy is still, in my opinion, in the wrong. In a lot of what they say. The ominous crime bill, there's only a couple parts I disagree with. One, the internet spying thing, Big Brother-ish type thing we're doing, and the marijuana pot laws synthesis. To me, a killer, rapist, pedophile, all this should be sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. They should not leave the prison until they're in either old gray, can't do fuck all, or in a box. Use a gun in a crime. Sorry, you're in there until you're old and gray or dead and buried. Also, the one thing I said today is we should bring back forced work details in prisons. For the prison that Procedure wants to build, I say get inmates to build the prisons. Teach them a skill. Huh. That's a concept that actually worked before Pierre Elliott Trudeau was actually enforced. The OPP College now basically was a former prison. Guess who built most of the buildings there? The prisoners, the inmates, the convicts. It's hard to believe. They're forced to teach them a skill. Masonry, brickwork, carpentry, whatever. Building skills. Teach them a trade. So when they do get released, they have a skill set to legitimately earn money. What a novel idea. Why don't we bring that back? Re-implement that. So let's save taxpayers quite a bit of money. So they do farming, grow plants, grow food for the winter months. Self-sufficient. What another novel thought. Maybe we should start doing that again. But since we have these, how can I say it? nanny state guys that say, "Oh, prisoners should have the rights too." It says they broke the law. They lost that privilege. They lost their rights. Sorry, that's how I feel. Prisoners who break the law give up their rights to certain things. Give up certain rights after they're convicted. They should not have access to satellite TV, high-speed internet, stuff like that. Personally, that's my personal opinion. They should not have those things. So that's a problem. That needs to be addressed. But other issues like gun control. If you watch the Conservative News page, Canadian Conservative News channel, you would know my thoughts of gun control. To me, it's ridiculous. It does not stop crime. It only creates more crime, as the criminals will be the ones that have firearms. They carry firearms in public. You don't see them. Doesn't mean they don't have it. You see, police say, detectives, all this, police have guns, firearms, open carry firearms. Why can't the honest citizen do the same thing? Does the police feel threatened by it? Not everyone. Not every officer feels that way. Some feel like, oh, that's a good thing. Yeah. They kind of welcome it. I mean, a lot of citizens, left-minded individuals, or individuals that do not like firearms, think they're unsafe, they kill people. No, it's not the firearm that kills people, it's a tool. It's the person behind the firearm that is doing the killing. A firearm's not going to go off just by holding it. You have to physically manipulate the trigger for it to go off. Or if you're stupid enough that when I'm on the range, only time my finger's on that trigger is when I'm about to shoot. When I want it to fire, when I want to shoot it, fire the firearm. Add a target, add a paper target, add a metal target, whatever I'm shooting at. And also, there's 4 basic rules. Know where you're shooting. Never point at yourself. What else? Common sense stuff. Always point it. Never point it at something you don't want to destroy. Stuff like that. Those are your safety. You never point at somebody or something you don't want to just hit. Shoot. Point down range. Make sure your firearm is safe. Make sure treat it like it's always loaded. So I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Very ridiculous. Lost that, but I don't know. Gun control is one of those things that doesn't make sense. But the reclassification of firearms, it's like that just pisses me off. RCMP should not be the one classifying firearms or reclassifying firearms. They're a police organization. They're going to reclassify the firearms so they can create criminals. And confiscate firearms. And not compensate people who legally obtained the firearms in the past. Happened with the Norinco T97. Now it's happened with the Army AP-80 rifle. It looks like the AK-47 rifle. Why? I mean, to me, honestly, my opinion, there should be 2 classifications: semi-automatic bolt handguns and fully automatic. There should be no classification of barrel length. There's some barrel length or caliber or what the weapon firearm looks like. To classify a thing based on appearance is dictatorship. That's a dictatorship. Gun control is what dictators or tyrants want. A firearm protects your life, your liberty, your freedom. Protect your freedom. People don't want to become victims. We should be able to own a firearm and protect ourselves. And on that note, I'm actually running out of time. Have a great day and talk to you guys later. Bye.